Number 5. Get involved in politics. Plato notes, one of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Although Athens was the first democracy in the world, Plato never liked democracy. When Socrates died after being imprisoned for corrupting the youth of Athens with his philosophical wisdom, Plato was deeply saddened, concluding that democracy is antithetical to philosophy. Plato described his distaste for democracy with this analogy. Imagine a ship where the owner is the strongest man on the ship, but doesn't know how to sail. There are other sailors on board, but they're quarreling with each other without coming to a conclusion. And then there's a navigator who knows the direction, but doesn't have any desire for leadership. In Plato's metaphor, the owner is a common citizen, the strongest, the most powerful, but ultimately clueless. Sailors are the politicians who keep quarreling without coming to any conclusion, and the navigator is the philosopher, the most knowledgeable person, but has no will to take control of the situation. He identified that the real problem with democracy is that it gives equal chances to people who are not equal in skills and knowledge, and thus produces poor leaders who make poor decisions that can destroy the state. He was of the opinion that society should be composed of 3 groups. First, the plebs, the most inferior, then the soldiers to keep the society under control, and then the rulers, who should always be philosophers. The lower classes should have no say whatsoever in how the state was to run and whether the philosophers, the most knowledgeable people at that time, should become the rulers. Although Athenian democracy is different from modern democracy, Plato's criticism of democracy remains relevant even today, especially regarding the fact that in a democracy, the opinion of a less informed and less educated person weighs the same as the opinion of a highly educated and informed person. If the educated and informed don't get involved in politics, then the political roles will be taken up by the remaining populace, and that can ruin a country. So if you have the reputation of a good citizen and you have many years of professional experience, proving over those years that you're a good leader and capable of managing complex projects, you might consider running for mayor or the equivalent in your community, be it a small town or bigger city. Having achieved several accomplishments in your life and knowing yourself as a capable person, you should consider that it's your responsibility to join the area of politics. Don't refrain from public life, otherwise you increase the chances of being governed by people less capable than you, but more popular. Democracy offers great opportunities for each of us, but it has its flaws. In order to avoid important roles being filled by the less capable of us, the most capable should step up, try to be more popular, and take the responsibility of a governing position. Number 6. Learn to be a follower, then a master. Plato tells us, "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master." As a teacher in charge of conducting the prestigious school he himself founded, the Academy, Plato knew that to be a great teacher, you first need to be a great student, something that applies to any job. To reach a managerial position, first you need to be highly experienced at the job you plan to manage. Leadership roles are usually earned through hard work and dedication. People must first prove their skills, demonstrate their knowledge before they're put in charge of other staff. Of course, in the modern world, there are many exceptions where managerial positions are awarded without the appropriate skill set or experience. But in an egalitarian, less corrupted society, it's through hard work and dedication that one gets a leadership position. For example, if you work in an industrial company as a general worker, you can acquire a leadership position if you prove every day that you're very reliable, can work autonomously, always fulfill your obligations, you're polite but tough in your work, and you keep yourself and your colleagues accountable. If this describes you, an occasion may well arise for a promotion, for example, your manager leaving the company or changing roles. Your employers might select you if you've proven to be the best follower. Thus, to be a master, one must learn to be a great follower. Number 7. Be content with little. Plato teaches us, actually be much happier than those seemingly wealthier people. As long as you learn to be grateful for every little thing, and you have shelter, enough food, and you're able to walk and work, your happiness is assured. You have enough wealth in your life. Number 8. Be in charge of your own happiness. As we learn from Plato, the man who makes everything that leads to happiness depend upon himself and not upon other men has adopted the very best plan for living happily. Plato was not a hedonist. He didn't believe that the pursuit of pleasure is the most important thing in life. Rather, he was interested in knowing the true essence of reality, emphasizing the importance of wisdom, moderation, and hard work. However, he acknowledged the importance of living a happy life, which he thought is a life lived in moderation and in which your happiness does not depend on other people, but on yourself. If you make your life depend on somebody or something else, for example, you say to yourself, "I'll be happy when I marry this or that person," or "I'll be happy when I get rich and famous," then you're dooming yourself to live an anxious life in which you'll always be afraid of losing the person you love or not attaining the material success you wish for. If, by contrast, you construct your happiness based on a set of routines which makes you happy on a daily basis, you won't experience the extreme ups and downs of life. You'll have a peaceful and much happier life than other people on average. To apply this teaching to your life, make a list of every activity which makes you happy. For example, walking in the park with your dog, or going hiking in nature close to where you live, listening to music while cleaning the house, going to a museum, reading great books every day, and so on. After making this list, make sure you check each activity every week. Making your happiness independent of what happens in your personal relationships or in your career will secure a safety net for your emotional well-being and will help you avoid having too many low moments in your life. Number 9. Work hard to accomplish great things. In our final quote from Plato for this video, he says, "I never did anything worth doing by accident, nor did any of my inventions come by accident. They came by work." Although he was a promoter of living a simple life and being content with little, during his lifetime, Plato was a hard-working individual. He believed that it's important to contribute to society as much as you can, as long as your work is not motivated by ambition for ambition's sake. During his lifetime, Plato accomplished a great number of things. He was the innovator of written dialogue and dialectic forms in philosophy, and he's considered the founder of Western political philosophy, being one of the most famous thinkers in the entire history of humankind. It would have been impossible for him to achieve all of this without working hard. Usually, nothing worth doing can be done easily. You can't get a great sense of accomplishment by doing trivial things like binge-watching TV, endlessly scrolling through social media, or partying with your friends. The things you're proud of, the things that are worth doing, those take plenty of planning and no small amount of effort. To apply Plato's lesson in our lives, we need to focus more on challenging projects and work hard to accomplish great things with these projects. For example, imagine you have a stable job as a delivery driver, but you find it repetitive, monotonous, and unfulfilling. In order to feel some satisfaction in your life, you might decide to start a new project. For example, learning a new skill or language by signing up for online classes, or joining a community group such as a theatre company or choir, all of which can open you up to new opportunities and ideas you'd never considered before. Hard work, when doubled by great planning, will lead to great rewards and satisfaction. If you enjoyed this video, please do make sure to check out our full Philosophies for Life playlist, and for more videos to help you find success and happiness using ancient philosophical wisdom, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thanks so much for watching.